everyone, so for today's video I'm going to be sharing with you all my top picks for the Sephora holiday savings event. There is a lot to talk about, but these really are like my tried and true products that I consistently go back to, that I repurchase, but I also did want to include some kind of newer like little sparkly things that I've been enjoying. And this video is sponsored by Sephora, so thank you so much to Sephora. Now, if you aren't a part of Sephora's Beauty Insiders program, you should definitely sign up so that you can take advantage of the perks. Before I get into the individual recommendations, I do want to go over the holiday savings event details. So for ROUGE members from October 30th through November 9th, you get 20% off. For VIB members from November 3rd through the 9th, you get 15% off. And then for insiders from November 5th through the 9th, you get 10% off. And it is an unlimited use coupon, so you can use it over and over again in store and online. If you want to sign up to be a beauty insider, or if you want more details on the event itself, I will have a link down below for you guys to go check it out. And without further ado, if you do enjoy today's video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you like me, I would also love for you to subscribe, so make sure to subscribe as well. And with all of that, let's get into the extensive list of products I have. Let's first start off with what is on my eyes. So this is one of like the most luxe products that I own. And it also happens to be sort of a cult classic product that a lot of people talk about. It is the Tom Ford Cream Color for Eyes in the shade Platinum. This is just one of those really beautiful, luxurious products that I would definitely recommend picking up during the holiday savings event. As we know that Tom Ford is definitely not cheap. There's a lot that I think makes it kind of a cult status kind of product. When it's applied to the lids, it has like such a soft, beautiful glow to it, but there's no like visible shimmer or anything like that. It's really a sophisticated color and look. The shade is really, really unique. The actual base of the product is more of a warm brown, but throughout the actual shadow, it kind of has a cooler shift to it, which makes it a very unique shade. You know, it doesn't lean super, super cool or too warm. You can get a really like beautiful smoldering look, but the shade itself isn't too overwhelming, so it's really nice for every day or night. It really is a versatile shade. This texture is really beautiful because it's certainly super creamy, but when you go and blend it out on the lids, it kind of does set down, which I think is really nice. See, this is just like the perfect one and done kind of shadow to give you that like model off duty, like soft smoldering look that isn't too overbearing. Really just looks luxe, effortless. For me, because of the shade and the formula, this is absolutely one that I recommend. Next, a product that a lot of you are probably sick of hearing me talk about, but I have to give it another mention because it really is like my favorite foundation of this year. It is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. It is what I'm wearing on my face today. For me, it just checks every single box. It really gives me everything I could ask for from a foundation. It wears absolutely beautifully on the skin. It really meshes well with the skin, and I think that's why they call it kind of a Synchro Skin foundation, because it wants to work with your skin. It has a very creamy finish to it. It's never too dewy, it's never too matte. It has a really balanced look to it. It's about a medium coverage, and there really just is an elegance to the formula once it's applied to the skin. It just makes the skin look so naturally vibrant, and it gives you the coverage that you want without it looking really heavy. There's lots of shades, and the reason that I recommend this one consistently is that I just find that my skin always looks good when I have it on, and it's just such a middle of the road kind of formulation that I just can see so many people falling in love with the formula. Like I said, definitely my top foundation of the year, so I had to give it a shout out. Next, we're going to talk about a sort of like unexpected favorite from me. It is the NARS lipstick in the shade Tolede. It is what I have on my lips today. This is one of the satin shades, and I think that's why I really like the formula, because it's not super glossy, but it's not too matte. Really has that sort of perfect balance. And when you blot it out on the lips, usually the way that I apply it is I just kind of tap it in from the bullet. That way you can get that kind of soft and diffused blotted look. This just looks so pillowy. It's perfect for just that flush of color to the lips. It's very kissable too, just because there's really not a lot of product on the lips by themselves. Just gives your lips that like beautiful blotted flush. It looks like super kissable. There's just something really beautiful about this shade and this formula. There are a lot of shades to choose from, but this shade in particular I just find to be that just perfect my lips but better shade, but also in combination with the formula. I just love how big and pillowy it makes the lips look. Tolede is a little bit more of like a rosy nude, which I find looks really, really beautiful. Next, we have a fragrance that often comes to my mind during this time of year. It is By The Fireplace by Mesmerize. It's really just an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. It has that sort of like woody, kindling smell to it, but it's a little bit like burnt sugar as well, or like a burnt marshmallow. So it's slightly sweet, but it also has that bitter note to it. So I find it's very, very balanced. It's always the one that I go back to though, because it just has that sort of like that sultriness to it for this time of year. It smells really cozy. It has a hint of like that little chestnut smell as well. I just love it. I think it's super sexy, very wearable, and just like my perfect fall winter fragrance. That's why I purchased the large version last year, but you can also find it in the travel size as well. Next, we're going to be talking about some more cream shadows. I've really been loving cream shadows this year, and these are from Charlotte Tilbury. They're the Eyes to Mesmerize. So this is the shade Oyster Pearl, and then I also do have the shade Mona Lisa. Both are absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous shades, but I have to say that the shade Oyster Pearl is probably like top 3 favorite cream shadow out there. It really is just like the pinnacle and just everything that I want a cream shadow to be. When you apply it to the lids, it just completely captures the elegance of what, you know, a cream shadow should look like and what a cream shadow look should be. This is another really, really well balanced shade. It doesn't lean too cool or too warm, but I find that it still kind of brightens my eyes a bit while offering definition. So just a beautifully, beautifully well thought out shade. It looks refined and defined, but it has like an elegance and a dazzling sort of quality to it. The formula is a little bit creamier for sure, and it looks a little bit more reflective on the lids, but I love that about it. It really catches the light in just such a beautiful way. And that creaminess also just makes this so effortless to apply. It really is a beginner-friendly product. Mona Lisa, I think, is like the perfect cream shadow if you're looking for like a one and done smoky shadow look. I think these are like kind of an instant classic product. I think we're going to be talking about these shadows for a very, very long time. I honestly, since having Oyster Pearl, if I lost this today, I would immediately go out and purchase another one. I really don't want to be without it. Even thinking about that kind of gives me a little pang of anxiety. So beautiful. I think one of the coolest formulas that I've tried out this year is from Rare Beauty, and they are the Soft Pinch Cream Blushes. I have 2 shades, one from each of the formulas. I have Joy, which is more of the dewy formula, and then Love, which is from the matte formula. I'm actually wearing the shade Love, and this is, I think, my favorite of the 2 shades. This is just like a perfect fall shade. I'm really, really happy that I picked this one up. Will seriously go with every single fall look that you could possibly wear. I believe Rare Beauty has a bunch of sets as well if you wanted to try these out in one of their sets. But as a whole, I've just been wearing these so often. I think the formula is just really, really beautiful. They're super pigmented, but every time I apply them, I'm, you know, surprised at how blendable they are and how they sheer out onto the skin so evenly and beautifully. For the demo, I applied quite a bit just so you could get the true look of each of these colors, but you can see that they still just blend out so perfectly over the cheeks. Both the dewy and the matte formula just wants to work with the skin. It never gets choppy, and I find that these wear so long on my skin. Just the more that I use them, the more that I'm finding new things to really love about them. And I'm definitely a tough critic when it comes to cream blush because I try out so much cream blush. I think it just says a lot that I am revisiting this formula over and over again. I really, really highly recommend these. Next, let's talk about a concealer that will probably not be a surprise to a lot of you, which is the Kosas Revealer Concealer. I just love this concealer so much, and it really does take a lot for me to rave about a concealer and use it over and over and over again, just because I am so picky with concealers and my under eyes do just tend to look so heavy and dry with a lot of concealers. Formula is just so perfectly creamy. It has medium coverage. Because of this formula, it's so natural looking on the skin. It doesn't look like a lot of concealer sitting on the skin, which is definitely an issue that I have with some concealers. It makes the under eyes look so hydrated and smooth. It actually has caffeine, so I find it kind of like flattens out the under eye area and definitely depuffs a little bit for sure. It's super creamy, like I said, but it also sets down a touch once you've applied it, which some more dewy concealers don't do. You know how people say like, what would be like the 3 products that you would have in your makeup bag if you could only choose 3? For me, a good concealer is definitely one of those products, so I could not be happier with this pick. Now, another product that I have loved for many years and always recommend is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. There's just so much to love about this. It's such a beautifully buttery base product. First of all, even when I just have this on alone, my skin looks so much more radiant and perfected. This is more of a cream formula, so it really allows for the makeup to blend really evenly and smoothly on top of it, but it also has kind of a touch of radiance and a touch of like perfecting to it. I think I realized that this was really like a holy grail product for me when I wasn't using it. I just find that when I wear this, every product that I put on, you know, looks that much better. I can see like over there in my backup drawer that there's one already sitting there just ready for use. It's just a gorgeous product. I recently got my younger sister on this as well, and she just can't get enough. So yeah, no surprises here. Definitely recommend this one. Now for my next recommendation, I've been getting a lot of comments on my videos asking for like my go-to sort of skin tint product, and I would have to say that right now it is the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. This is a very beautiful skin tint product. It's actually quite liquidy, which makes it very spreadable on the skin, and I definitely recommend going in at first with fingers with this product. This skin tint just melts and blends so smoothly on the skin. When you work it into the skin, it just melts away and looks so natural. It's really beautiful to watch how it blends out and just gives you that veil of coverage while still looking like skin. It doesn't look like you're applying a lot of coverage or a heavy sort of creamy product to the skin. It still looks very lightweight, but it gives you that sort of soft touch of dew. It's just such a flattering looking skin tint product. It definitely gives you that kind of like, oop, just came back from a facial sort of look. When a lot of skin tint products, for me at least, start to feel the same and a little bit monotonous, and you know, they all start to feel like the same formula, I am reminded of this formula just because I think it really stands out as looking just that much more natural, giving you just that much more coverage while all still looking like just beautifully like soft, dewy skin. Now, another product that I discovered this year and just can't get enough of is the Roen Cake Mascara. If you want like fluttery, wide-eyed, but kind of like coy and sexy looking lashes, I highly recommend this one. I haven't been this impressed with a mascara for a very long time. It really lengthens and it will give your lashes volume, but it's such a soft looking volume. It's what I have on my lashes actually today. It's just a really perfectly balanced mascara look because it gives you all of that length that I really like out of a mascara. It's not clumpy. It doesn't look like a heavy sort of clumpy lash look, but this formula is also super black, so it gives you that kind of volume and definition just from the color alone, super jet black. It also lasts really well on the lashes, so I just think it's a really acceptable exceptional mascara. Super perfect for those of you that like that really soft, fluttery lash look. And next, let's talk about the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wands. I highly recommend these as well. I have two shades. I have Spotlight, which is a champagne shade. This is the original one that I tried out, and I think still my absolute favorite, but I also really like Pillow Talk. I bought this one as well, and it's the one that I have on my cheeks today. It's more of a soft sort of rose gold color. I just think they're the best cream highlight formula out on the market because they give you such a glossiness to your cheeks, but they're quite thin and they kind of set down. And when they set down, it doesn't look textured or heavy. It still remains looking creamy, but it's not sticky or heavy. There definitely are some cream highlight products or liquid highlight products out there that when you put them on, they kind of dry really fast and they're very thin. And those to me tend to look a little bit heavier or just not as elegant once applied to the skin and once they've set down on the skin. But these remain looking really glossy and beautiful. They also show sort of a level of restraint. They're not really obnoxious looking highlights. They just give you that really soft glossiness that I think a lot of us are looking for. At least I am. I'm not looking for a highlight that looks really like gaudy or just over the top. These are just so beautifully elegant on the skin. They're really the only highlights that I'm reaching for because the formula is just, I think, my absolute favorite. And a new to me product that I have been liking over the past few weeks is the Bite Beauty Yaysayer Lip Gloss, and I have the shade Cider Donut. First of all, it does actually kind of smell like a cider donut because it has cinnamon oil in it. The cinnamon oil is what gives it that kind of subtle plumping effect. It smells really, really good, but I really like this lip gloss because it just makes my lips look so big. It's a deeper sort of rose shade with a touch of a golden shimmer throughout, and I just find that that sort of shade for now, for fall, is just very universally flattering. It's just going to look good on everyone, and because of this formula, you know, the formula itself, I think, really envelops the lips and gives them like a very like smooth appearance. It really fills in the lines, so your lips just look that much bigger. And you know, during this kind of transitionary period, you know, going into fall into winter, my lips definitely get drier, but whenever I wear this, my lips just look big and healthy and like perfectly smooth. Like it really looks like a smoothing filter over your lips. Really, really beautiful formula. Absolutely gorgeous shade. I actually want to check out some of the other shades now. Next, I would very, very highly recommend the Roen 1111 palette. This is definitely a product that I revisit all the time. It's really the only like palette product that I get a ton of everyday use out of. I have a lot of videos about this formula, and I think those are definitely worth checking out if you guys really want an in-depth look at these formulas. But Roen was able to kind of put these more creamy satin to kind of slightly shimmery shades together to really define the lids and give them like a soft, diffused color, but then they included a little bit more of a shimmery top coat to really add some beautiful light and texture. I always find that when you guys are asking about my eye looks, it's because I'm wearing this, and I revisit it a lot just because it's so easy to create a look that's so well put together. It doesn't lean too warm or too cool, and just shades I think everyone will love. Another very beautiful formula, and one that I think at this point is kind of underrated, are the Fenty matchsticks, but in specific, the shade Mocha is, I think, like my perfect bronzing product. I always talk about this one on my channel because this formula is so thin, but it definitely has a level of creaminess to it. I mean, it's a stick cream, but when you blend it out onto the skin, it just looks like skin. It's actually more on the matte side, so if you're someone that doesn't like a really dewy bronzer, I think you will definitely like these. But I just can't tell you, like, it really tricks the eye into looking like real bronzed skin. Long lasting and matte and blendable. It's just the culmination of everything I would want out of a cream bronzer. It's what I'm wearing as a bronzer today. It just looks so natural. There are a lot of shades to choose from as well if mocha isn't your perfect bronze shade, but this is definitely mine. Honestly, I have very similar feelings about the Hourglass Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil. This is one of those brow products that just looks so soft and so natural in the brows. If you are using brow products that you just find are too creamy and they just look too graphic and too apparent on the actual brow hairs and in the brows, I really highly recommend trying out this brow product. It almost translates as like a soft sort of brow powder. It ends up looking so natural. It really looks like your brows are just naturally fluffy and naturally filled in. I love the way they were able to kind of capture a brow powder look with a pencil formula. It has just enough of that waxy sort of texture to give the brows a little bit more texture, but it's not lacking in that even pigment that you want out of a brow product. Your brows will never look weighed down with a lot of product. They'll just look perfectly filled in. And I also have to say that I've had this for quite a while and I still have quite a bit of product in here, so you definitely get what you pay for with this. For liners, I really love the 24/7 Glide On pencils from Urban Decay. I have the black, which is the shade 0. Whiskey is like my absolute favorite. It's this really beautiful kind of toasty warm brown that really defines the eyes well without it looking too stark, which I think can sometimes happen with a black. Recently got the shade Rockstar as well, which is more of a deep purple. Will define the eyes and kind of give it a little bit more of that smoldery, defined look. A shade like this is also perfect if you have green eyes because it'll make your green eyes pop a little bit. They're creamy when you apply them on, so they're easy to blend out, but then they set down and stay put. They've been a staple in a lot of people's makeup bags for a long time, but that's the reason, you know, they're just so easy to work with and really just pull together a whole look. And next we have the Roen Liquid Lip Balm in the shade Charlie. This is just such a perfect formula, perfect color. It's really just everything that I would ever want out of an everyday lip color. I wish my lips always just looked like they had this applied to them. Just makes the lips look so perfectly hydrated. All of the lines on your lips sort of just fade away and you're just left with a beautiful just veil of soft color. There's a touch of glossiness to it too, but it's not distracting. It's just like a subtle shine. And lastly, a product that I don't talk about a lot, but one that I use a lot is the Josie Maran Argan Daily Moisturizer SPF 47. This has been really handy when I want a really nourishing moisturizer, but I want it all in sort of one step. This is an incredible, like super nourishing moisturizer for those of you with dry skin. It really has a beautiful, like nourishing, luxurious sort of emollients to it. If you have dry skin and you're going into winter without like your perfect sunscreen, I really highly recommend this one. It just works really well for my skin and I feel like my skin is better when I'm using it. Next, I saw this holiday hair fix set on the Sephora website, and this is just a really good deal. You get to try out a lot of Olaplex in one set. You have the hair perfector, the Bond maintenance shampoo and conditioner, and you also have the Bond smoother as well. Sorry, there's like a dog hair on it. I feel like my hair has been needing some TLC, so I'm really excited to try this out. You can basically treat your hair, you can cleanse and condition it, and then you have that sort of styling product as well. So I'm super excited to try this one out. Another gift set that I saw is this one. It's from Fenty Beauty. It's the Gloss Posse. You guys know I'm like a huge fan of the Fenty gloss bombs, and these are 4 like limited edition, only can find in this set sort of shades. Look at this ruby shade. I cannot wait to try that out. Cake Shake also looks right up my alley, but this is just a really beautiful set for, you know, that friend that you know really likes the gloss bomb formula. There's a lot to choose from. I love that there's a really good range of tones and shades as well, so everyone's going to have something that they love. Another set that I thought was really cute is this little bestie set. It's from Beauty Blender. You get this little pouch to hold your beauty blender, but I don't know if you can see, it has these little openings at the end so that if you have a dampened beauty blender, you're not holding in all of that moisture. The beauty blender can dry itself out, but you also get this little scrub brush and you get some soap. Honestly, I feel like not enough people talk about Beauty Blender Solid. I haven't used another soap that is as gentle but effective as the Beauty Blender soap. So I was really excited to see that. See how cute this is? Your Beauty Blender won't get all dirty in a makeup bag or a purse. Next, another sort of gift item, or just, this is more like a value pack item that I always go back to, is the Peace Out Acne Patches. I always keep one of these in my backup drawers because I go through a lot of them. They're really just a standby product for someone like me who has hormonal acne. It really helps cystic breakouts. It helps to bring the breakout to the surface, to get all of the gunk out of it, and then to heal it. So no matter what like phase your breakout is in, it really helps to speed along the process. It also has vitamin A in here as well, so it kind of does a little bit of that cell turnover for the breakout. So this is definitely like an elevated pimple patch, really, really good. And also a sort of tip that I have is try cutting them in half. That's what I do, because I find that the pimple patches are always a little bit too big for the one breakout that I have. You guys know I love the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer. It's like such a gorgeous, gorgeous bronzer if you like more of a dewy look. But look at this mini. Is this not like the cutest thing? This is like the perfect stocking stuffer. If someone just gave me a stocking just filled with these, I would be happy. I think the blushes come in these minis as well. Got a couple of gifts for my family, so if you are in my family, please don't watch any further. Of course, again, this Shiseido Synchro Skin Foundation, because my mom needs to try this. I think she would love it. And then this is actually my sister's favorite lotion. If you have more combination skin like she does, I think you will really, really love this. It's the Believe Milky Moisturizer, and it's more of a balancing moisturizer, so it really hydrates the skin, but it's still really fluid and lightweight. But for me, for someone with more dry skin, I love the Believe True Cream Moisturizing Balm. This is one that I've mentioned a lot on my channel and I always go back to. It's such a beautiful gel cream formula. It really gives you the most nourishment and hydration while also being more on the lightweight side. You know, it's not a really thick emollient cream. It has definitely saved my skin in the past, and I know it will in the future. Also, another little shadow that I wanted to share with you guys is from the Moon Dust line from Urban Decay, and this is the shade Space Cowboy. I'm probably gonna talk about this in like my upcoming, my favorite like one and done shadow look video, because this is really perfect if you're more of a powder shadow person, but you want a shadow that's going to look really reflective and glassy on the lids. I also have the Tower 28 Shine On Milky Lip Jellies. Now, I know Tower 28 came out with like a set of their lip glosses, and I think that would be a really, really good gift to get for someone that really likes gloss. I wanted to try out specifically though the shade Cashew. My friend Rainier actually here on YouTube really, really loved this shade, so I had to pick it up and I have tried it on and it is gorgeous. So thank you to her. I knew I'd really like this. I also have the Peter Thomas Roth Cucumber Gel Mask, which is of course like this jelly mask, and I love using this, especially this time of year when my skin is feeling a little bit reactive. This does a really good job of like calming down the skin, and I feel like it kind of like tones my skin. It really helps with redness that I deal with. I love to just take a bath, like put this all over my face and just let it sit. And once I take it off, my skin is just way less angry. It just feels a little bit more hydrated and definitely depuffed as well. And lastly, we have the Hourglass Scattered Light Glitter Shadow. Now, I've talked before about the shade Smoke and the shade Reflect. I love the Scattered Light formula as a whole. And when I saw that there was kind of like a mossy green, I was really, really interested in seeing what this shade would look like. Holy crap, I could not be more happy with this shade. You can see it has a touch of a smokiness to it. It's not just straight green. It's so like sophisticated and wearable. It's really an elegant formula that still gives you that kind of glitzy look. Really, really easy to work with as well. Again, I will leave all of these products linked down below for you guys because I know that there was a lot. And remember that I will have that link to sign up to be a beauty insider and just to give you more information on the holiday savings event down below as well. Thank you again to Sephora for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys for watching. So if you did enjoy it, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you enjoyed it, I would also love for you to subscribe. So make sure to subscribe before you go. And with all of that, guys, I will see you in my next one.